Right, now the cockpit's done, I can actually start work on the Falcon now. But I've come across a couple of issues. I've got this part here. The cockpit will sit in here. And then when the LEDs are fitted, because there's the LED box, and there's the LED that I've got to use. It's a long one. You get two long ones and one short one with a white connector. You've got to use one of the long ones. So my first issue is when mounting these together. Here's your mounts for your LEDs. First issue, look at those holes. They're bloody tiny. Not much light is going to get through there. So I've done some research, and mainly on YouTube videos of people that have actually this. What they've done is they've widened those holes slightly and get the LEDs pushed right through. So that's one issue you've got to deal with. The next issue is when you put this thing with your LEDs into those two holes there, right? You're going to push that right down. Where's the light going to go? Because you've got this massive back wall. So again, doing some research and looking on YouTube videos, what people have actually done is getting one of my fine liners. They've got some sprue cutters or a Dremel, and they've basically cut out that, because if you leave that back wall in, the LEDs are not going to shine through those two clear parts, and it's not going to light up the cockpit. So, you know, Bandai are brilliant, but I don't understand why they've decided to leave a big massive back wall so you can't get the light through. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm just going to cut that out and then mount the LEDs and widen that. Right, so doing that bit of surgery on that back wall, so I've just got my Dremel, and if you remember them little black lines I drew on with my little fine liner, I just went with my Dremel all the way around, smoothed it down. I've also widened those holes for the LEDs, because the LEDs through them little pinholes, you wouldn't have got much light through that. So widening them holes, you could see that the LEDs are actually sticking out through those holes. They would have just been, they wouldn't even be doing that if I hadn't widened those. Right, so you get that, you push that in there, so that's what I'm going to do. Right, so and also you've got to wrap the wires through there like that. And through there like that. And then you slowly ease that down, so those pinholes, those pins will actually go into the pinholes. So I'm probably going to need my tweezers for this as well. Just trying to line those up. Oh, get in there, bloody thing. Go on, get in there. That's it. No, it's not. That's it, get in there. Right, so just pushing them down slightly. That's it. I don't think the pins actually go into the... That's it, that's a bit better. They didn't seem like they was going down. So the cross arm will lean on those two arms there. That wire's just popped out again. Just push that down a bit better. That's it. So the crisscross through that little section, and then pressing the switch. LEDs are a hell of a lot more shinier through the widened holes, Oh, that's not too bad. So I think it was model chili scale models I got this tip off. So have a look at his channel and he'll show you how to do that. But that's what I've done. Just exactly carbon copy of what he's done. And those LEDs are shining quite brightly. So turn that off. So there you go. So you will need to do that to get the light to go fully through. I haven't put this inside there yet because I'm still waiting for that little bit of glue to dry. Because you remember when I widened those holes. But that's turned out, so that ain't too bad, that eh? So next step. Right, I've now took the tape off the cockpit because the glue's lovely and dry. So I took the tape off on the top and the bottom. I've now put it into the bottom half of the cockpit hull arm, as it were. So if you remember from the previous update, I've put the lighting into the back of that caliper, as it were, and pushed all that into place. So I've pushed the cockpit into place. Now if you remember on the bottom of here, the clear part, I don't know if you saw it, there was two little clear tabs and they go into two little holes underneath this plastic, one here and one here. And then when you push it down at the front, those two little tabs there, which are glued together, those for the two parts of the sidewall, they go in that little gap there, that little channel. And then there's actually, so that wall there, there's actually another one behind it, and that cockpit just encompasses between those two tabs, as it were. From looking at it, the cockpit shines up quite nice. It's not too bad. I don't know what it's going to look like once the canopy's on and the top arm has been put on, but that looks actually really nice. And to be honest, I never noticed it before, but there's like a beveled edge, like a prism type edge, and I don't know whether that light reflects onto that and then it goes through into the cockpit. I don't know, but that's not looking too bad at all, eh? So I've just got to put the top part and the windowless canopy on, and then I'm going to see how well the light shows through. But first impressions, it's not too bad. So let's see what happens once I put all that on. Right, I've now put the top and the bottom panels on for the actual cockpit arm of the Falcon. I've also test fitted the windowless canopy, and I've also connected it up to the battery pack. So I'm just going to switch that on. And it does light up the cockpit a little bit. Probably not as much as I was hoping for. But if you look at it from the naked eye, I mean, I don't think the camera's going to do it any justice, but looking at it with the naked eye, it gives a nice amount of shadow, and it does make all the, you know, all the bits that are painted do pop out, as opposed to a flat decal. But I am, you know, like I said, I'm quite chuffed with that. So let me turn the light off and put my flash on. And like I said, with all that, you can see it looks not too bad at all. I mean, I'm hoping I can push this down a bit more. And I'm hoping there might be some extra bits that'll hide that gap up. I don't know why. I mean, I've clamped it down the best I can. The gap still remains on both sides. I don't know if it's like because it's like a really tight fit and, you know, the extra bit of paint and stuff, I don't know. But like I said, I'm liking that. It's, you know, it ain't too overpowering, but it ain't, maybe I could have put another LED in there or something, I don't know. But that's the cockpit arm done, so let's see what happens in the next few stages of construction. Right, the main cockpit tunnel arm, all the construction's done on that now. I've took the canopy off for now, because I still don't know whether I'm going to use the clear part. I don't know yet. I'll just mainly just fit that on there for demonstration purposes. Right, so I've done all that there with the 3 main parts. Now it's onto these little parts on here. So you've got like this rib piece here that goes just above the main canopy. You've got 2 options. You can use the plastic parts with the like the little gridding lines, or you can use the photo etch. And then but the underneath with the little vents is plain, where it's like behind the little grid lines. So I got the plain parts, which are those 3. I then primered those and left them in the primer grey, and then you put the photo etch on top. So here's your little 3 parts if you don't want to use the photo etch, and they're really nice and not bad at all. But the underneath, trying to paint between those lines is going to be very, very difficult indeed. So I don't know whether the camera's going to pick it up, but underneath there you can just about make out behind the grid lines. There's those 3 pieces, but they're plain. So like I said, I primered those, put those in all the way underneath. Now underneath here you got a little part there. Now that plugs in to hold the bottom part of the photo etch. But on the top half of the photo etch, there's nothing to hold that into place. So where's that little line? Where's that little marker? Yeah, there. You can see that it tells you to put a drop of glue underneath there. So I'll put the drop of glue underneath there, and I put one about here, and then I put one just about here, and then that little tiny part there, that's on top of there, that holds that into place on the bottom. I've also painted the photo etch piece. I primered it, and the colour that I'm going to be using for the main base coat is Tamiya's AS20 Insignia White, because I've been doing my research and there's a lot of people saying if you want to spray this with a can, use this stuff. So that's what I've done. I bought 2 cans of that. So I sprayed that on top of the primered photo etch, put my drop of glue in as I've just explained. But the only trouble is, while I was holding it down my tweezers so my fingers wouldn't stick, it's rubbed a little bit away. So I've got to top that up when it comes to the main base coat later on, because I'm going to be masking that off and then painting all of that, and then once take the masking tape off and then just top that back up again. Right, so I've put some little dinky parts on there. You've got a little part there. It's a shame that doesn't extend over there to hold that into place. There's a part there, that part's I've pushed in. I've pushed in that part there just above my thumb. It's like a rectangular piece, and that goes slightly over the photo etch as well. There was a little part here, squeaky bum time, that was trying to cut that off a sprue, and then about in the middle there I had to actually shave it slightly, sand it slightly. Where was that other piece? And then you've got this piece here, like this half circle, and that was 3 parts. You got the main part, and then you had these tiny little bits on the back. Those were squeaky bum time as well. The carpet monster nearly ate that W12. Luckily I managed to catch it. Like I say, just put them on, and then that goes on the back there. You can see those other 2 parts that I've just showed you. So again, that part there, it's a shame it didn't extend slightly. But that is that complete now. I mean, to be honest, I read there's like 600 to 800 parts on this. But some of these parts are bloody tiny. I mean, here's my J sprue, and you can see cutting those off, it's going to be like my lifeboat. I've got to be careful. I don't snap them when cutting them off a sprue. So this is something you're going to have to watch out for, especially that piece there. That's probably going to be a nightmare to cut off when I do that. But that's the tunnel stroke cockpit arm done.